classrooms should be student-centered. Now, this is not a student-centered venue. This is a performer-centered venue, isn't it? All of the chairs are bolted to the floor facing that way because that's what it's built for. It's built so that the important stuff takes place up there. But that's not the way a classroom is. In a classroom, the important stuff takes place out here. That's why I'm standing down here right now. You say, well, if you stood up there, we could see you better. Yeah, but if I stand down here, I can see you better. And that's more important because this is about you. I'm not on a Vegas stage today with the lights blinding me, not able to see past the second or third row. I am a teacher with hundreds of individual students. And if I stay down here, then I can see your eyeballs and I know whether you're listening or not. Are you too tired to go on? Getting funny vibes from the neighbors? Maybe you just feel overloaded. Perhaps your children listen to too much rap music. Today, at 4:30 p.m., we're supposed to go over to our 8-year-old's elementary school where they will have posted his teacher assignment for this upcoming crucial 3rd grade year. And all summer long, my wife and I have been hoping against hope that he will be assigned to one particular teacher. Why? Because that lady's reputation precedes her. There's something about that lady. She always manages to take every student and brush away all of the ashes, find a few glowing embers, and then fan those things into an inferno. And then, to be fully candid, all summer long, we have been praying that he will not be assigned to one particular teacher. Even atheists in our neighborhood go to church all summer long just to hedge their bets. Because that lady's reputation precedes her as well. Because we know that if our boy gets stuck in there, she has a way of spreading out all the ashes, finding embers, and pouring cold water all over them. What is the difference between those two teachers? Well, there are many, but I'll tell you one. It's why they go to work in the morning. That first teacher, the kind that you want your kid being taught by, let me tell you why he or she goes to work in the morning. Because they love kids. And because they believe at the core of their souls that what they are doing is important and it makes a lasting difference in the life of a child. That other teacher, the one you don't want your kid being taught by, let me tell you why they go to work. They need health insurance.
First, you'll need to take out a bandana. Now, fold the bandana in half. That's right. Fold it in half. Now, take out your mother's favorite handbag. Place the bandana in the handbag. Now, close the handbag firmly around the bandana. What the audience doesn't know, neighbor, is that you never put the bandana in the handbag at all. That's right. You kept it hidden in your left hand. Remember palming? Sure, I knew you would. Remember to keep your hand in a natural position. Now, make a magical gesture over the handbag. And with a grand flourish, fling the handbag open and wait for your well-deserved response.
In an unforgettable presentation, world-class illusionist Billy Riggs seamlessly blends his powerful message with spectacular illusions and hilarious fun.
Sir, you are thinking of a single word. You never wrote it down, you never told anyone, you merely thought of it. Would you please, for the first time, tell us the word you are thinking of?
Newspaper.
Newspaper?
More than 2 million people on 5 continents and 10 cruise ships have experienced the incredible message, magic, and comedy of Billy Riggs.
Come out!
As the CEO and founder of 3 successful organizations and a former counselor with 2 master's degrees, Billy understands human potential.
You and I have something in common. We all became illusionists as small children. In fact, psychologists tell us that the faulty perceptions of the world that we all drag with us through adult life to cripple our creativity, paralyze our potential, limit our sales, impede our progress, and drain our lives of joy were generally formed in our minds by about the age of 6.
Because he performs magical illusions as he helps people recognize and break through the false beliefs that hold them back, illusions about themselves and the world, Billy Riggs is known as the world's first and only disillusionist.
What you just saw is a podium moved by an unseen force, a purely natural force, I assure you. But your life, in a similar fashion, is moved by a whole host of unseen forces. Your beliefs, your assumptions, your biases, your defense mechanisms. But at the top of that list, I would have to place your attitudes. It is the eternal law of life that if you choose as an act of your will to get up with your head in the wrong place and say, my glass is half empty, it will get emptier. The consequence of a negative attitude is that you will attract bad things and bad people to yourself. And over the course of your lifetime, you will slowly drain your glass to the dregs of all of the joy that you might otherwise have known. You will find a very troubling process at work in your soul. Your glass will grow smaller. Your ability to know joy and success will slowly diminish. As day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, decade by decade, you find yourself paying the compounded interest on a life lived with a sour, dour, negative outlook. But the converse is also true. If you choose as an act of your will to wake up every morning with your head in the right place and say, my glass is half full, it will get fuller. By virtue of a fabulous attitude, you'll attract good things and good people to yourself. And over the course of your lifetime, you'll fill your glass to the rim with all of the joy this life can contain. And you'll find a wonderful process at work in your life. Your glass will grow larger. Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is your brain on a bad attitude. And this is your brain on a good one. There are some items that are on both of those lists for a person, like food. Food is a real need, and 3 or 4 times a day, it's a felt need as well. But there are many items that are unique to one list or the other. Air is a real need, but it is seldom a felt need. It's a felt need if you're underwater for a long time. But then a master teacher always concerns himself or herself with that other list. That's the one that makes a great teacher's eyes light up. It's figuring out what a person is longing for and then showing them how what they're teaching will meet one of those needs. She doesn't long for money. She longs for what that money will give her. The money, she believes, will give her certain things that she really cares about. What? Shoes. No. Hey, catch a clue. No, it's what the shoes bring her, or at least that she believes in her little mind that the shoes will bring her. She thinks she looks hot in those shoes, which makes her attractive, which is her felt need. Okay, now, if I'm going to reach little Denise, I've got to appeal to her felt needs. Let's pretend for a moment I am her English teacher. And as I am waxing eloquent about dangling participles, I notice that Denise is just not with me. In fact, she's not been with me this entire semester. What's going on? Everybody else in the class is more or less listening to what I'm saying. They're coming along for the ride, but not little Denise. Denise is staring out the window. Denise is not even trying to hide her disdain for what I am saying. Now, master teacher isn't going to leave her behind. What am I going to do? I'm going to try and find a way to turn 8th grade English into a pair of shoes. Something that she says, man, if only I had that, then, oh, how wonderful that would be. Because it meets a felt need. You say, how in the world? Several years ago, I did a performance like this in Houston, and there were about 700 teachers in that cafetorium there. And at the end, they all filled out evaluation forms like the ones that you will fill out at the end of this presentation. And about 11 teachers, as I recall, commented critically about something that I did that really bugged them. 3 different times during the presentation, I walked down the aisle, halfway to the back, and then stood here and talked for a while. And so the people in the front had to do what these people are doing. They had to crane their necks way around in an uncomfortable position to see what I was doing. Now, why in the world would I bother leaving the stage, walking halfway to the back, and talking from here? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because as I was up on the stage speaking, I saw that halfway down the center aisle, 1 seat removed from that center aisle, there was a man right there trying to go to sleep. This is a student-centered classroom. If it was about me, I'd just go on with it. But it's not. It's about you. So I walked all the way down there, came over here kneecap to kneecap with this guy and talked from here. And about 15 seconds later, this dozing man thought, that's really loud. And he opened his eyes, and I was staring right at him. And I gave the next 10 seconds of the talk eyeball to that guy so that he would know that he was busted. I turned around, I went back onto the platform, and he had the nerve to do it again. 3 separate times I had to walk off the stage all the way down to that guy, kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball, until he figured out he was not getting any sleep in my class. Now, it may not be my fault that that guy was going to sleep. He might have been up all night with a crying baby. How do I know? But it's my responsibility. I'm not culpable, but I'm responsible because it's not about me, it's about you. A great teacher is never going to just wander aimlessly on through the lesson if some people are not with them. They find ways to engage people, to get them involved. They make sure that they're reading eyeballs all the time. You see, you think this is like TV. It's not. I can see you too. Ladies, did my pulse stop?
Yes. Yes.
That's the deceased person. Burn it completely. Pour the ashes into my hand, if you will, please. I'm going to just lay them on my wrist like this. You will notice that they cling to my wrist. Can you read that, ma'am? A.T. A.T. Those your father's initials? Yes. Your father's name was Arthur P. Townsend. Am I correct? Great teachers gladly take on their own shoulders the responsibility for the students' learning. Magnificent teachers joyfully take on their own back the onus for dragging every student kicking and screaming, if that's what it takes, to the fount of knowledge so that they can drink deeply. Now, because I am a magician, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Really? You could feed him salt. And that's what great teachers are always thinking. What can I feed this student or that student to make them long, thirst for what it is that I'm teaching? Now, how do you do that?
But he is an illusionist who is really first-rate, first class. He also is a professional speaker. He says what he says real well and with a lot of zip and humor and enthusiasm, but most importantly, he's a professional human being. He really wants to help. That's the reason people benefit from his message.
I thought I was going to see about a third or second class magic show. This guy is really a good illusionist. He could take this on the road and just sell that if he had nothing at all to say. Some of the best tricks I've ever seen, and I wish you could tell me how he does some of them.
In my 17 years as a Riley producer, a full-time Speakers Bureau, and now a full-time career planner in the speaking industry, working with heavyweights, I have never seen such talent rolled up into one person as I have with Billy Riggs. Billy Riggs has the ability to inspire as Zig Ziglar, be as analytical as Stephen Covey, and as entertaining as David Copperfield, all rolled up into one.